Art here. I want to start something new today, and I want to call it Proverbs for Men. You know, the book of Proverbs was written specifically to guide sons. Now, everyone can benefit from Proverbs. Proverbs is a good book of wisdom, and and I would encourage everyone to read it. But specifically, I want to take just a few minutes, and I want to focus in on how it applies to us as men, because it was written specifically to instruct sons. So anyway, the one I want to talk about today, it was one that snagged me while I was reading this morning, and it's found in Proverbs chapter 12, and it's verse 13. And it said, "The wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips, but the just shall come out of trouble." Now, the reason that snagged me specifically was the word transgression. The wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips. Now, the transgression means rebellion. It means a sin or a departure from the truth. And so when we understand that, it puts this into a perspective that we know here that the wicked are snared or they're trapped. The actual word for snare is literally translated noose or trap. So the wicked are trapped by the rebellion of their lips. Now, in order for there to be rebellion, there has to be a knowledge of the truth. If a person doesn't know that they're wrong and they're just doing something but they're not clear that it's wrong, they don't need correction. That's not rebellion. What they need is instruction. They need to know the right thing. But when they do know the right thing, and then they depart from it intentionally through rebellion, then that means that they don't need teaching. They don't need more instruction. What they need is correction, because they are literally intentionally going against what they know is right. And that's what we talk about with rebellion. So the wicked, they're snared by the transgression or the rebellion of their lips. In other words, they know what they should be saying. They know what is right, but they are intentionally going against it. And it says here in Proverbs 12 that they are trapped by what they say. And then it goes on to say, "But the just shall come out of trouble." In other words, the inference here is that the just, by what they say, will be liberated and walk in freedom. But that the wicked, and the intention of the just is that as they're speaking the truth, and they're not lying, and they're operating according to what they know is right. But the wicked, he's transgressing with his lips. So he knows he's wrong, and he's intentionally doing it, and because of that, he's being trapped by it, and he's being snared by it, and he's being put in a noose by what he says. In other words, when we know what the Bible says, because I consider the Bible for me to be my final authority, to me it is the rock bottom truth. And when I know what the Bible says, but I depart from it and I say something else, then I am inviting a trap. But when I walk according to it, and I speak according to it, and I say according to it, and I live according to it, then I am actually asking for and walking out into freedom. But you can actually talk yourself right into bondage according to this verse. So moving forward this week, I want you to examine this as a proverb for men. Will you walk in pro form? Will you pay attention to what you're saying and make sure that what you're saying is in line with the truth? And do your best this week to not intentionally transgress, to not intentionally rebel against the truth that you know. This is Art, and I'll talk to you next week in Proverbs for Men. Have a good week.